Hey, Paul,
Hi,
what's your full name?
my full name is Paulo Olemsumba Lord.
And where are we sitting today?
Where are we sitting today?
Yeah,
We are sitting at Jack's.
in Kilimanjaro, Tanzania,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Maasai land in an area it's called Simanjiro.
Mm.
Is about 130 kilometers southwest of Kilimanjaro, of where we are now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they call it a boma, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It is a village with a lot of boma. Boma is actually an area where one is like the big, it's like mini village
Yeah.
where there could be, let's say, Jack's boma with relatives so and so. So in one boma there are maybe 12, 5 houses.
Mm.
So that is what we call boma.
What was it like growing up as a Maasai? Were there customs that are unique to your culture?
Uh, as a Maasai, we grow up proudly to be who we are,
Yeah.
and we actually we grow up. We raised in a way of believing and agreeing, believe in yourself. You grow up in a life where you are trained to be uh, um, self-confident in a different situation and in a different challenges, such things like that. So,
Did you grow up as a Christian?
well, personally, I grew up a Christian, but in the Maasai, I grew up a Christian, but a Christian with a tradition way of life.
Mm.
So we Christian and the Maasai are not much differ. Like before the coming of so-called Christianity in the Maasai land, our way of worshiping uh, was not actually different from how the Old Testament rule. Or
But you guys, shepherding is a big part of your culture, right?
right.
What do you mean? It was like you're in advance of Western Christianity arriving, there was already this happening in Maasai culture?
Yeah, because if what I mean is that if you say Christian and the Maasai life, in Christian we read that there was some things called offering in
Mm.
the Old Testament, and these things actually is things that the Maasai uh, you were performing, like offering, like burnt offering. There is like a monthly offering, and in case maybe the rain delayed for a couple of years, let's say 1.5 year, they would go to the certain mountain and then they burn an offering because
Mm.
they believed that there must be something wrong. Or maybe we sin something and then
Mm.
we subject it to God to give an offering, and then God may forgive us from whatever we might have
Okay.
done. So that's what I mean.
So my understanding of the Maasai culture, I first noticed in banks in Tanzania, like proper, multi-million dollar banks would have a Maasai guard without a gun. And that was enough of a deterrence for this major bank. Why is the Maasai considered such a fierce warrior?
First of all, the Maasai are trustworthy. If you have a Maasai, let's say, as a security, they are very obedient in what they are doing. So as long as they have agreed to do what they are being told to do, they do it in faith,
Mm.
and it doesn't, no matter what. And yeah, it is the same thing when you get actually going in the jungle herding your animals.
Mm.
Like a lion could come. Of course, you are not going to run away from lion and let the lion. So you actually prepare in a way of dealing with anything. Doesn't matter what. And um, we don't. We are trained also in a way that you don't see someone with maybe armed with gun or whatever. You don't see, you don't see someone bigger or powerful than you. It doesn't matter how tiny you are, because yeah, it is a spirit. It is the spirit that they are carrying. It is so powerful in such that it doesn't matter whether you come with a gun. Um, yeah, they believe and they feel that they can actually overcome anything that comes before them.
So you mentioned the Maasai spirit and how
Yeah,
it's capable of overcoming lions, guns,
yeah.
you name it. My understanding is that Tanzania used to be 120 plus tribes, and they were all by the government told to stop being your tribe, move off your ancestral land, become one nation of Tanzanians. And everybody agreed except the Maasai. The Maasai have remained this independent um, group. Is that what do you see the Maasai spirit as meaning?
The spirit of Maasai, what I mean is that the Maasai as a community, they are people with a fundamental. They are people of principles. And they are people who believe who they are. And they are people who cannot easily told what to do. And they are not people who can easily be changed by um, anyone that is, or any external uh, uh, pressure or so. So to be able to change some aspect of Maasai life, in fact, you have to be a Maasai. But if you are not a Maasai, trying to change, to make the Maasai change with this, with modernization, so and so, unless it is something that they have agreed by themselves, but it is not something that they can be told, okay guys, you have to do this because life is going this. They listen to you and then they go.
Can I ask a question?
Feel free.
Thanks. You have facial, it's not a face tattoo, it's facial scarring. Is this part of the process of becoming a man?
You mean around here?
Yeah, your
Uh,
cute cheekbones.
it is a sort of kind of a brand, and they do this for children from the age of 1.5 to 5 maximum. So yeah, it is just a kind of a brand, but this is done by like grandmothers,
Uh-huh.
like elderly women. So they call children, and then sometimes there's sort kind of ceremony. They slaughter maybe a cow, and then all the children come, and then they make a fire, and then they have the smooth metal, and then they put in the fire, and then they
Wow.
brand it. It it lasts in 2 3 days. It is gone.
Okay.
It is healed. Yeah.
Yeah, looks good. What is what is the diet of a Maasai traditionally?
Traditionally, our main food is milk, meat, not all meat from cow, goat, and the lamb. That is
Okay.
our main food. Milk, meat of cow, yes, lamb, and goat. That's our main food. But due to the changes of life, of course, we eat nowadays. We eat rice, eat potatoes, and some other cereals,
Would you eat
food
fruit
stuff.
or anything like that? Like
Fruit, yeah,
traditionally?
we eat fruits, and in the forest, in the jungle, there are also different like
Right.
natural fruits,
Yeah.
like desert berries. Yeah, there is a number of
So, but you wouldn't really farm an orchard, right? You would
no,
herd your
no,
goats and sheep.
exactly, yeah.
How do you measure wealth as a Maasai, or is that even a foreign concept?
The wealthy of the Maasai is measured based on two things. First, Your wealth is measured by the number of people you are serving. If you have, let's say, 7 or 5 wives, of course you are you say talking about having 20 children, and so the first thing is the number of people. How many fellow human?
Family as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, and secondly is the number of cows.
Are men with more wives happier or sadder? How does that work? It's interesting to me as an American.
Yeah, it is something that the Western society would find it very complicated, but for Maasai, it is a pride. It's a pride if you actually, because you don't only marry, you have to be able to feed these people.
Mm.
So the fact that you have more than one wife, two wives, that shows how wealthy you are, because feeding a number of people um, as a family leader is not easy. So you also have to have a certain number of animals to be able to bring these people into your boma. So yeah, first you have to have a large number of cows, goat, and lambs. Also land, you need the land, and yeah, through all this, then you are considered wealthy. However, if you go to the Maasai village as someone who is not a Maasai, it is not something we didn't have the classes as like other people where you have like middle class or high class and low class. If you go to the Maasai life, the life is the same.
Yeah.
If you own 1,000 cows and I have 5 cows, we live the same life. I eat what you eat. I sleep the same environment that you do. So it will not actually, you would not easily find classes based on income in a Maasai life. Yes, of course, in the current days, yeah, there are people who are uh, having buildings in town or in cities like Arusha, Moshi. These are people, or these are Maasai who are engaging in mining, and also some they are dealing with the tourism activities. These people, they actually adapting new way of life, but that which doesn't mean that they leave their home,
Yeah.
because at the end you will always go back to your village.
So these bracelets that you're wearing, they are Maasai spirit bracelets. Are they?
Yes, these are very special bracelets. Um, you can hardly get in the shop. You might get in some shop in Arusha, but if it is not something you can easily go and just buy it,
Mm.
it there are it is the place, the availability is limited, and because these are actually something special made by the family, like sister or mom make for you, or your girlfriend,
Hmm.
or your wife.
So these ones are made in your village
These are
where you were
made,
born?
yeah, this is made in a village, in my cousin's village
In your
called
cousin's village.
Orkine.
Yeah.
So it is made there. I had some like this before, but I also end up giving some friends.
Tell me again. Just tell me again about how these bracelets are special and they're made in Orkine village.
It is special because it was not made for business.
Uh-huh.
That is what that is the special things. But these ones, the other thing is that it is a unique. It If you see a Maasai wearing this, they are actually full of pride, because um, it is attached to their own culture. It is the innermost part of culture, and this actually these are the first bracelet that you wear when you become a warrior.
Mm.
So most people you find them having this are warrior. And if you find a warrior with a full of this, like these are only two, sometimes they have another things here. It's called arakatar. They have olopropil, that is Maasai perfume made out of plant. And they have some other bangles here. It's called uh, ndalama. And with the Morani having these things, they sometimes they also have like a special belt made specific for warriors. And also there are some other beaded, some beads also sometimes wear that come across
And so, how would
the
you feel
chest.
about me or people who are outside of the Maasai genetic line wearing these warrior bracelets?
Uh, can you repeat again, please?
How would you feel about people who are not Maasai but trying to embrace that Maasai spirit wearing the warrior bracelets?
For me, first of all, I feel proud.
Yeah.
I feel proud seeing someone wearing a Maasai things, because that it is show value.
Mm.
It show how precious my culture is, not only for me or for the Maasai, but it's a culture where anyone is invited and can actually and can live that life.
Mm.
Yeah, so I feel proud seeing someone uh, other than the Maasai wearing this. In fact, I find nowadays a lot of people in town, they are more interested. If you, for example, for wedding or other special occasions in big town like Dar es Salaam, Moshi, Arusha, you find them organizing the Maasai dressing ceremony, whether it's a wedding or other special uh, celebrations, so and so. So yeah, I'm proud of it, and I would like to show the world much. We have so much to share, and personally, I believe that uh, we can share a lot. I'm not against anything from other people's. I like learning. I love learning, and I don't judge people in a negative way based on our differences. It is who they are, and I expect the same thing, that I will not be judged in
I,
a negative just because then otherwise, as a Maasai, I'm very powerful spiritually, physically, and mentally
yeah, yeah,
also.
truly. I mean, isn't it common? I want to stay on this because that was an excellent answer. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, feeling pride in seeing other people respect the Maasai culture
Yeah,
is beautiful to hear. What is the spirit of Maasai?
the spirit of Maasai is love. The spirit of Maasai is love, caring, respect.
Yeah.
Love, caring, respect. That is community life. Love, uh, love, sharing, respect. That is the best, like the concept of like the basic things as a Maasai, that what we think is the most important things.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I, you touched briefly on tourism. How can people from all over the world experience the Maasai life for real?
If you wanted to experience the Maasai for real, you can organize. Of course, there are a number of people who book their trips
Yeah.
from Europe, USA, Australia, Middle East, Europe, and elsewhere, coming to national park, which most of these national park are located in the Maasai Island, in the heart of the Maasai Island, whether in Kenya or Tanzania. Um, if they really wanted to find to get unforgettable, what they call that is what they say experience. Um, it is important actually to find a moment of spending a moment, even a night, with in a Maasai Boma,
Yeah.
even a night, whether in Tanzania, whether in Kenya.
So,
This is very important regarding about tourism. I'm a professional. I'm a graduate in the tourism industry. Um, I'm holder of bachelor in tourism and hospitality. And I believe that if you would like to experience um, anything, whether it's a safari or the Maasai life, tradition, custom, and not only Maasai can also teach more than the Maasai life. So we have a company I found with my wife is registered 2 years ago. It's called Ereto Tour Company. Ereto means a collaboration, harmony, so and so in Maasai. So I would actually use this opportunity to invite anyone who is interested just to go and check Ereto Tour on Instagram, and then you will find us. You will find an having a tour with us. You will for sure always come back.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.